Hi, Lenny. I just wanted to tell you I really enjoyed your video, and I see where you responded to mine, so I'm glad somebody's looking at my posts. Two things I wanted to touch on, and I was so glad that you brought it up. If I'm glaring, it's because my Christmas tree that my wife has put up is gigantic, and it's making everything glare off my face, so pardon me. You talked about the continuing education as being one of the main issues dealing with, I believe it was state of Tennessee, which were the cases that you found. And um, continuing education also coincides with another thing that you had brought up in your video about counselor impairment. Continuing education is something that I'm facing right now. I have until June to do just that for my CSAC, which is Certified Substance Abuse Counselor that I currently hold. And it's very easy if you have a large caseload. And I also have not a large staff, but I have peer recovery specialists that I supervise as well within my agency. So it's easy if you're having to deal with a lot of a high volume of people, including a staff, and then trying to fit in the time for fitting in those, webinars or those accredited courses that's going to, satisfy your state's requirement for continued education. So I wanted to piggyback that in on with the counselor impairment, and that's where you really have to be able to self-monitor if you're starting to fall into the category, and specifically with the ACA Code of Ethics C point 2.G, which is about the counselor impairment. It can affect your physical, emotional, mental condition if you start getting burned out. I've recently experienced similar symptoms of that. Just different things that you have to pay close attention to in order to self-monitor yourself to make sure that you're still providing the services, adequate services for the clients that you serve. So you brought up two really good points. The continued education can seep right into the counselor impairment. I also wanted to say that I've also, and my wife and I have both looked into the state of Tennessee. A lot of their laws that govern counseling, they're sort of similar to Virginia. I think Virginia has a very thorough, like you said, checks and balances between what the state requires in accordance to making sure it coincides with the ACA Code of Ethics. So once again, I enjoyed your video. Thanks.